Because when you move at Real Madrid, it's not only about top club in the world now, and you can win every year something at the top level. You go in Madrid. From my point of view, if we stop the season now, of course, there is no doubt. For me, Salah is a Ballon d'Or. I had 6, 7 chances, 5 in England, 2 in Italy, but in my opinion, they weren't the right environment.
What's up, guys? We've secured an exclusive interview with a Premier League legend, Paolo Di Canio, a man who played for many clubs and had a very distinguished career. But yeah, great to have you on. Paolo, how have you been? How are you?
It's a pleasure for me to be here because, every time I come back in England, I feel like a home.
Yeah.
It is my second home, obviously. I got my daughters that lives in London, so I got this opportunity to come often in England. So I never forget my experience in here, because 8 years as a footballer and 3 years as a manager, so 11 years is a piece of important part of my life. So every time I come back, I receive a good welcome, a warm welcome. So always I'm enjoyed to be here.
Brilliant. And because you lived in different parts of the country, obviously up north in Sunderland and then Swindon, London.
Everywhere I go, so
Scotland
I
as
meet
well.
a very a warm welcome. I'm very happy also today I'm here.
Brilliant.
I came Tuesday because I had the chance to go at West Ham training ground. I was speaking to Graham Potter, speaking for the future of our club. So always a good experience. As I told you before, I feel like home.
I was going to ask you about West Ham, obviously playing at Upton Park when you played for West Ham and now moving to the London Stadium. How do you feel like the change of stadium has affected the club?
Obviously, I couldn't feel the difference as a footballer because I played only at Upton Park. I know that the first 2 years and a half didn't pay, the move that we had at the Olympic Stadium. But at the end of the day, we have to accept, because the modern football needs more incomes for the club. 36,000 at Upton Park were amazing every match, but 60,000 make difference to compete and to try to stay at the top level. And West Ham proved that they were right, because if we think that after 60 years we won Conference League, it was a fantastic moment for everybody. If you have a chance to attract more, we can say, quality and high-level footballers, that is good for the club, for the supporters. Obviously, the atmosphere weren't really the same the first 2 years.
Hard to replicate.
But now I have to tell you, because last season I came here and I came and watched a few matches. And when the team play well, and when there is a good atmosphere, you have 60,000 people that are singing our fantastic song, and you can feel very the passion into your body, into your shirt. And I think the footballers are very lucky to play in this stadium now with this amazing atmosphere.
That's right. When the team plays well, the atmosphere naturally is going to get better.
It's more natural, but also when we don't play well, the supporters are amazing because they try to push the lads, and it's obvious when the team doing a good job, as we had the season when we won the Conference League. The atmosphere became even more magic.
Incredible, yeah. How would you have liked to play with Jarrod Bowen on the wing and Mohamed Kudus on the wing? Do you think you would have played well with them?
Would have been good if I had a chance to have the energy now. But yes, because with them it's easy. The modern footballer, the football change every 5, 6, 7 years. Rules change. The science helps the football in the players' performances. And obviously, football is not science, but the science help in some way. You can
stamina,
see them. I saw,
power, speed,
you're right. I saw them a few days ago. You can see their legs, their body. Before we used to work only to have more power, more resistance in the legs. Not me, because I started already in Italy with AC Milan. They were the first club to adopt, a different way to train, to increase our power, also in our upper body, because you know the football changed, and then you start to see a footballer 190, you know, with a big shoulder, and you know, when you want to challenge with them, you fly up to the stand. So we started already at AC Milan. For me, it was easy when I moved to Celtic to keep going, work hard, and put a few kilos more into my chest, into my shoulder, to try to be
more powerful
on the field. But the modern footballers are incredible athletes. You can see them. You know, you can see the sculpture they are. The shoulder, the chest. When they threw away the shirt at the end of the game, they love to show their body. You can see.
But nowadays you get a yellow card if you do it during a game.
But they're right, because they have a good proportion between the upper body to the legs. So before it wasn't the same. And you can see that it's different. But talking about what you asked me would be more easy for me, because I was in a sort of orchestrator up front. I was in a sort of more assist man than goal scorer.
True.
You can imagine Bowen with Iran Kudus now, or play combined with Paqueta, maybe to quarter of the field, 1-2 combination with our creativity, imagination. Would be fantastic.
It would be great combinations, some amazing goals, I'm sure. In terms of the derbies that you played in Lazio Roma derby, obviously the Rangers Celtic Old Firm, Newcastle Sunderland you managed, you didn't play, I don't think. But in terms of the passion and those kind of games, how do they compare, and which would be the most kind of fiery?
Can I tell you, it's difficult to tell for only one reason, because there are different reasons for every derby. Roma Lazio, similar to Celtic Rangers, because one city, two teams. There are different reasons, not only about sports. We know this. You know, we don't want to go through, but we know that there are also other reasons why they don't like. It's not simply for football.
Cultural reasons.
The culture, we know. Political reasons, we know. It's clear. But as a ex-ultra, because I was a part of Lazio Ultra when I was young.
Travel up and down the country.
Up and down to the country. Even when I was closer to play for the first team, I used to travel as a fan. And for me, always it was easy to understand the emotional moment, the feeling for the supporters that I used to play with, for. And describe exactly if one derby was more passionate than other is not really easy. I can tell you, to be honest, that play Lazio Roma, AC Milan, Inter Milan, because I played also this derby in Milan at the top level, Rangers, Celtic, Newcastle, Sunderland, for many reasons, but I didn't play on the field. I was in the dugout. It was even more tough for me because I had, lots of emotion inside, because we were nearly to relegate. I took the team just 2 games earlier. We went there with 3,000 of Sunderland fans away from home. Win 3-0 there. Amazing. Was an incredible moment. I remember that I used to run and die in my knees nearly the touch line, but it's obvious as a footballer, Rangers Celtic, Lazio Roma, those are you feel this not the day before the derby, but 1 month earlier.
Really, that far ahead?
Speaking, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, okay, but we have 6 games to play before this match.
So you're already nervous.
We need to get points because we need to go up, on table. But Paolo, in Roma, we need to smash them. In Celtic, the same. Maybe a friend that they used to come at home and meet, Paolo, the Rangers, we need to. Okay, but we got 4 matches in the middle. No, thinking about the derby. So you can feel that they really care about this game.
Did you never get a chance to play against Millwall at West Ham, or did you?
No, that would have been fantastic, because obviously I didn't mention London derbies because there are many. Obviously, there are a few that are more
spicy than others.
Spicy the others.
Yeah,
But we know that the Millwall one is the best that you can have. Talking about, the feeling, the atmosphere,
the history going all the way back.
The history.
To
Unfortunately, I couldn't play. But unfortunately, after a few years that I left West Ham, the draw.
They did happen. It
in the
did play,
cup,
didn't they? Yeah, yeah.
Because Zola was in the bench.
That's right.
My friend
of course.
Zola
was
in the bench. I used to watch at home.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like to be there, as a footballer, because it's nice, because you know that you can do something special, even if it's only for one match. But that match, it means a lot.
It's remembered forever.
Forever,
Yeah,
probably for
right.
the supporters. So, but unfortunately, I didn't play this derby.
We'll see what happens. Take you back to a time in your career where I think you said before that you spoke to Sir Alex Ferguson on Christmas Day, and you turned him down.
Twice.
I mean, that's very brave.
Every
to be
time
fair,
Christmas Day, 25th of December, phone call at home. Always I was at home because both time we played the Boxing Day at home. So we didn't have, the sleeping out from home. Lunchtime, always. Well, I was in the kitchen. My wife, there is a person asking for you. Who's I don't know, Paolo. But the accent sounds, Scottish accent. I thought my friend that wanna say to me, "Happy Christmas," have a joke, something like that. And then I went there. Hello, speaking. Hi, Paolo. Alex.
That's a good impression.
And then I say, "Fuck." I can't say
Yeah,
now,
you can
but
say it, you can say it.
Who's that? Anthony. I'm Alex.
So you thought it was a wind-up?
After 30 seconds, I realized that it was the real Alex. And they say to me, "Paolo, would you come? Would you join us?" But you took me in this moment. But it's a great honor to receive a phone call from you. Absolutely. I couldn't imagine. But to be honest, after 1 minute, I told him, I can't.
You couldn't.
Can't leave the lads, the supporters, because once I signed for West Ham, it was a second born for me, a reborn.
It's in your heart. Yeah.
They gave me this opportunity. The fans were amazing since the first second, not the first minute, when I was wearing, in West Ham shirt. I can't leave this club until they will kick me out. Right. So thanks. The season later, there were a moment where I didn't have a good relationship with the manager. It came out in the newspaper. He tried again to convince me. Christmas Day again.
You tried again.
And I say, listen, it's again Christmas Day. I want to have a good lunch, but I can't leave West Ham.
You should have learned from the first time, shouldn't you? Really?
But he saw in the newspaper some articles came out 2-3 days before where they exaggerate, but we had a little problem, we had a confrontation with the manager. Can happen in football. Yeah. It came out on the newspaper, and then he thought maybe this time I can convince him to leave West Ham.
But no good. But no regrets?
When they kick me out, maybe we can talk about.
But no regrets about not playing for Manchester United, no?
You're right. Good questions, because also my friend in Italy, every time they read Alex Ferguson book that he saw the 3 regrets he got, one is I couldn't sign Paolo Di Canio, say in his book. And they know, they read, they say to me, "Paolo, but when you think about your football career, you should play in one of the best team at that time in the world, because they won the Champions League, they won many leagues in a row." Say, no. Because it's easy to say now, maybe, no, but what I feel when I come back in London, I meet West Ham supporters, the cab, driver, when I go to the airport, the satisfaction I got, the feeling I got, even if I meet only one person, say, "Paolo, come on, you are a legend."
Your legacy is big.
My skin, I feel fire, in my stomach, and it's incredible. The feeling, 1 trophy more, 2 trophy more, don't pay you back as every time I come back in here.
You get the love.
The hug from the people that were welcome.
How do you feel about Serie A at the moment? Because Fabio Capello recently claimed that Pep Guardiola ruined Italian football because too many coaches tried to copy his tactics.
I meet Fabio every week because we work for Sky Sport Italy together.
Course, yeah.
We cover Champions League, midweek Champions League, and we are in studio together, and we have a chat, and before, after the match, And he became tough in the last few years.
Yeah.
And he really believe about that. Also, there is he answered again today in Guardiola, because Guardiola wasn't really happy.
No, I can imagine,
in what he said. And Capello replayed again. Yeah, maybe if he's not happy because I went straight to the point in a clear way, in a right way. Yeah. So there is this, the modern way, how you call...
crossed wires.
Yes, crossed wires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen. It's good for the show, for the curiosity of people that is curious to try to understand a different generation, or manager in a different period. What is their thought? It's obvious that it's an opinion. In some way, I don't want to say Capello is right completely, because he belongs for another football.
He's old school kind of.
No, old school. Yeah, old school. We can say old school, not for to say in a bad way, because
he was a great manager
25 years ago. Yeah. It's different period, different rules. Everything is different. But Guardiola was good and capable to use the new rules. Obviously, he had the chance to manage top clubs in Europe and to have the players every time he wanted, with a specific characteristic, to deliver his philosophy and get them to play the football he loved. But to be honest, for a few years, watching them play was beautiful. Sometimes it's boring when they are not in a good day like this year, because you think, oh my God, the same team that won 4 in a row, the Premier League, Champions League, now with exactly the same player, they look fragile. If we are in 11, we can go and face now Manchester City, probably we can get the result. You think for the difference we can see now. But it's obvious that what we saw in the last few years is absolutely amazing for me.
Magnificent, yeah.
Obviously, if you asking me, but everybody wanna
copy this.
Yeah, there are level and level. Sometimes when I saw some mistakes from not only low-level English Premier League team, but also in Italy, I used to say before, I think, but why? But why? You can have a mixture, because now we start seeing that the people come back and looking at the old style football in a modern way. Vertical, quick, direct, when you can go with 1, 2, 3 passes, like Liverpool. Liverpool is a good mixture. With Klopp, they have done a fantastic job, because they have a specific characteristic with Salah, player with powerful, good quality, good delivery. Alexander-Arnold, 50 yards delivery, boom! Salah kill the ball 1v1 quick. So in 3 passes, you go in the goal. Why spend 10 minutes in 200 passes? It's a different way. Athletic Madrid, Real Madrid always play vertical, because with the top 4 players up front, you give them the freedom to do what they want. It's easy. Good, compact when you need to defend, and then you think about to score a goal and create chances. But lots of clubs, Nottingham Forest.
It's true. Chris Wood up front.
4-1-1 with a typical old centre forward. Wood can play, come front, hold the ball, pass the ball, and attack the box. But in a modern way, because now the modern football is 195. They are more. They have more elasticity. They have, with a specific exercise and training session, they are more mobility. It's not only the big one. You can see they are thin, but they can turn, twist. But we're still talking about a player that scored in the box. Boom. Hold the ball, pass the ball. 2 fantastic winger. Talented player, Elanga, Oxon-Odoi, that we know that they were talented a few years ago. Maybe they lost the right way to become a fantastic footballer, but in a right place, with the right system.
Come back around.
But also Nuno Espirito Santo was good, because he had already 2 experience in England. Before Wolverhampton, he tried Tottenham, didn't work. Now say, maybe in England with this kind of player and quality, we can't go all up front or play in the back 20, 25 passes in our box because it's dangerous. So you have two center back, that they are similar for the characteristic to the two that they won with Leicester.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy.
No, and back, I think.
Oh, I mean defensively.
You remember Morgan?
Okay, where's
and
Morgan?
Hood?
Yeah.
You know, if you think about Milankovic,
okay,
and the South American guy, they look the same. They don't spend too much time and play.
Just get it up
5
there.
yards. They challenge, they regain the ball, and then midfield and play in a wide area directly. Gibbs wide, boom, go directly and go score a goal, and then stay as a unit, strong and solid in the back, where they are. Top 4, top 5.
In the league, yeah,
and they deserve to be there because since the start they play this kind of football. And it's not all the style fashion football that's maybe boring football, because when you can see players that go vertical, carry the ball, turn, twist, pass, 1-2 combination, delivery, head goal.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
It's refreshing.
Yeah,
beautiful football too. So many clubs starting to understand, to combine the two different football.
Styles,
mix is a perfect in this moment, in my opinion, because this year City proved that when you do something for a long period and then you need to see a green future, you have to remember your roots and your back. So I don't want to say you have to drop back at this period, but the team that are doing well in this moment, Premier League, Serie A, 3-4-2 system, Inter Milan, when they need to defend, they defend. When they want to play from the back, okay, but they don't exaggerate. Ball, midfield. Wingers, they go from fifth, they attack the box, 3-4 player, rebound, boom, shooting goal. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, it's different ways to play.
They are not extremists in this way. So, in my opinion, now the people understand that maybe, okay, but if we have a team that have to fight for not to relegate,
it's not the way to play.
Player probably are for this level, not for this level. You can't convince them, oblige them and play because you want to make manager and a sort of spot for yourself to have a chance for a big club. Oh, good idea, but you consider 95 goals per season.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Not very good.
It's like Southampton, conceded far too many goals. You mentioned Trent Alexander-Arnold there. Obviously now I think it's been confirmed he's going to go and play for Real Madrid, leave Liverpool on a free transfer. You know, player loyalty, you were loyal during your career. Does it surprise you? Obviously Real Madrid is very much the biggest club in the world. So.
I don't want to sound, the old jealous ex-footballer about that. It's a modern football, but also in my period, there weren't, the people with incredible loyalty, because if they had a chance to move in a top club with 3 times wages, but more was important to have the ambition to win titles, trophies, for your career. It happened also in my period. In this situation, if he didn't try even to have a contract in the way he wanted, probably he wanted to try a new experience. Obviously, I'm a romantic guy, It would have been fantastic to hear, okay, Real Madrid offered me 3 years contract, 20 million per year. I want to stay here at Liverpool. Have this way,
have a statue
but
built
I want to
for
stay
him,
here because, would that be fantastic? Because it remind you that there's still people with heart in some way. Don't forget what Liverpool club gave to him.
Exactly, yeah.
Obviously.
But that's what some of the fans are saying. They're not happy.
But I can't blame him for this, because a new experience, because when you move at Real Madrid, it's not only about top club in the world now, and you can win every year something at the top level. You go in Madrid.
You win the Champions
You're
League
gonna
again.
learn Spanish for the family. I don't know if we go with family.
Yeah, Jude
people.
Bellingham's there as well.
Jude is a part of the culture that you can improve, and maybe 2-3 years there, and then back in here again with a bags of big experience for him, for his life, because football finish.
Yeah.
Earlier or later, finish in 3, 4, 5 years, 7 years time, as a protagonist of on the field, will finish. And then remain what you did on the field, but what you had as experience hand in hand with your private life. It can be important for him probably, and also
you've got to measure it in a different way. Yeah, life's bigger than football.
In Asia, where you can have 50 million per year, but with all respect, you need to be close. It's different,
You don't have long in your career as a footballer, like you say.
In Madrid, with Real Madrid, with Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Mbappe now, Bellingham. So be a part of this group of players. So.
In terms of the Ballon d'Or, I know individual accolades in football aren't everyone's cup of tea, but do you think Mohamed Salah deserves to win it this year, or do you see other players?
We know that you need to do something special in different competition, not only in Premier League. From my point of view, if we stop the season now, of course, there is no doubt. For me, Salah is a Ballon d'Or.
Right.
Golden ball, Salah, easy.
Deserves it.
But there are other 2 months.
Yeah, the season's not
Champions
ended
League,
yet.
The national team. He had also these, no problem, I don't want to say problem because he's proud to be an Egypt guy, but depends on what you do with your national team.
Right, AFCON, yeah, compared to the Euros.
The World Cup, the Europa, it depends, different. And, but Champions League make a difference. And sometimes I feel that if the people that judge and give their votes for the player, every year they are 52, 48, like last season. Rodri, which is amazing. He really deserved for me the Ballon d'Or last year. But Vinicius Junior was very close.
It was controversial, wasn't it? But
controversial.
It's good to see a defensive midfield player win, because you won't see that again.
But Rodri make a difference, completely different in this
you can
team.
see now he's not playing.
I don't want to say that the season is very bad because Rodrigo is not on the field. But it's not completely a coincidence because one player don't make a team, but make a big part of the team.
Huge part.
You can imagine the art of the game with this quality, personality. Give me the ball, I hold the ball, ready, reading, moving time to challenge up front. How they do it normally, they try to regain the ball forward and not drop back. Now the team drop back too often. They don't know how to defend it when they run back often.
Great player.
So, great player. We know. I don't want to, maybe Rodri is out now, that in a season where you are not really sure, no one fly away far from the others, that if they are close, maybe Salah deserve a bit more. But if Vinicius Junior now score a goal in a quarterfinal,
semi-final,
they play the final, they won, they win, even if they play a bad game in the final, just to give a sort of, how you say,
token gesture,
repair.
Repay the fans.
Repair what you didn't give in the past to him, and maybe they're gonna choose him. But to be honest, in this moment, Salah, 100%.
He's ahead. The club that's probably closest to your heart is Lazio still, I would imagine. But they've gone quite a while without winning a trophy. They're in the Europa League quarterfinals now against Bodo. Do you think this could be the year they end their trophy drought and win the Europa League?
There are teams that all they have the ambition to win, because Tottenham, if in the last few weeks they, have a chance to have all the players, because Tottenham have had a long period with 8, 7, 9 players out, especially defensive line. They are really important. Van der Ver, Romero, they were out for a long period. Even in the middle, Bentancur, that we know for the story, 7 games, 8 games. So with a full team, the league is out. They can't get something. They can work specifically and hard and believe in this, competition.
Yeah, because still some good teams left.
5 matches.
Yeah, 5 matches.
Two quarter, two semi-final, two legs, and the final. So, and maybe those players that remain out for a few months, if they can have a good physical condition, mentally and physically, and the hunger they have because they were out for longer, the maximum maybe fitness they have, they are more fresh than the others. They will be crucial.
True.
So Tottenham, I mentioned Premier League every weekend. I cover Premier League, so I know all the situation. But Lazio got his ambition because it's unusual for Lazio. Only 3 times in the history they get, the semi-final in a European competition. They have this chance with Bodo that someone may think underestimate, but I have to be careful because you play there with artificial surface.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
It's very cold. At home they always score 1-2 goals. So you have to be careful. And Lazio didn't leave a good moment at this moment. They have done an incredible job for 6 months. And then there are the teams, that they can challenge this trophy. We will see. They have a chance.
It'll be tense. In terms of Celtic, obviously you were only there for 1 season, I think, which maybe a lot of Celtic fans regret. But after the season after you left, I think Henrik Larsson joined. Do you regret you never got to play with Henrik Larsson at Celtic?
But I came because I left.
Oh,
no,
I
think because similar position, similar role, and Celtic was lucky because he was an amazing footballer. So it was good for Celtic.
Well,
anyway,
Sheffield Wednesday was there.
Yeah, then we make happy different supporters. It was a good change. This is life. It happened. Belong to our destiny in some way. You build your destiny. But it happened.
Yeah.
One door closed, a big gate open, and this is my mentality. So was good. Obviously, it's another footballer that would have been fantastic to play with because it was an incredible quality, talented player.
Very much so.
So amazing, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. But I was happy to know that Celtic remain a good hand, and then he did a fantastic job for Celtic supporters.
Is it sad for you that Sheffield Wednesday have never made it back to the Premier League? I think they were relegated the year after you left, but still 25 years later, still in the Championship, never made it back.
But that make me sad again, because even if I left in a way that we know, obviously the supporters were always amazing to me everywhere, because I gave my best, my maximum effort. They recognize it, and they still, I don't want to say love me, respect me.
I think they probably do.
Yeah,
though.
love it too big, because this word is important. Love, we know even in the life, sometimes we abuse in terminology, some word because maybe in English it's different meaning, but love like a friend, for me is important. But I think they respect me, because obviously when I left in the way it happened, obviously they weren't happy, because there was only one voice on the media, local media, telling the story.
Yeah.
I try to explain exactly what's happened, because it's not your opinion, my opinion, your truth or my truth. There is only one truth. The club
they sold you.
Send me in Italy, say you can't stay here at the moment. I understood, because 11 matches banned. You can't come here, and then every day newspaper or maybe photographer out from your home, obviously. But after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I've been for months in Italy, train my own in a frozen, surface, because it was a winter period, November, December. I came back in January and I signed for West Ham.
That's right.
So I did my job as a professional, because in any condition I thought I need to be fit, I need to be ready, I need to be fit, because this belongs to me. I need to be right, because once someone called me, I'm ready to show that I'm a real professional. I did always this. But the story that came out wasn't really good. But 1, 2, 3 months, I said, listen, no one phone call. No one.
Really?
Nobody can say different.
That's crazy.
No one phone call. I used to call every week, 10 days, say, can I come back? Maybe I train in a side, because I was available to come.
Yeah. And your friend Benito Carboni was
there.
So, yeah.
I was calling, also I have a phone call with him. Okay, Paolo, now can you speak with the general director? Can you speak, because they don't answer me. Okay, they say it's better if you wait, it's better. 4 months. Say, I can't come back here.
It's a long
I can
time.
come back here.
Yeah.
And also, at the time, the chairman made an interview against me. And I defended myself, not with club solicitors. They didn't give me anything. I brought from Italy international sports solicitors. And they negotiated with the Football Association. We had, the sentence, 11 matches, not from the club. So this has to be clear. Even from 100 years, this is what's happened.
Yeah.
It's not one truth or another truth. This is what's happened.
That's what
And
happened.
this way, I thought, okay, I love play for Sheffield supporters, but I relate myself every day with the people that I meet in the office, in the dressing room. I can't work next to them anymore.
No, the line has been drawn.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I need to leave. Otherwise, I can damage even more the club because I don't train happy, free, with the maximum desire. You can imagine Paolo Di Canio with his character, maybe go on the dressing room with those faces, and maybe train not really good, or with not a good feeling.
Not good for the whole club at that point.
Not good for everybody.
It was West Ham's West Ham's benefit. 1.5 million, what a bargain! I mean,
what a bargain.
Probably worth.
But someone told Harry that he was crazy. You mad?
Oh, yeah,
you gamble? He said there's someone in every newspaper said that you mad. He said no, no. You say no. Paolo is a good footballer for us. So they say no. It was good. He's a fantastic signing for us. I'm happy that after a few weeks, everybody understood that he was right.
Yeah.
And obviously, he gave me a great opportunity. Always, I will say to him, thanks, Harry, fantastic lad, fantastic manager, and to me was an amazing man.
Yeah, did incredible.
An amazing manager, gave me the chance to live the rest of my life thinking that I played for years and a half at West Ham, in this incredible club, family club. That is amazing.
Brilliant times. Can I just ask you quickly about Milan as a city and AC Milan as a football club? Kyle Walker is there now. They've got quite a lot of English players, haven't they, AC Milan?
Abraham.
But
Loftus-Cheek.
Loads now.
We got.
Massimo Ambrosini described the city as a danger.
Yeah.
Do you think Kyle Walker, he's had some issues in the past, do you think he'll get on okay there?
In the studio, when we heard the rumors that you should sign for, was in December, for the new sign in AC Milan, probably we're talking about Walker, maybe he wanted to move because he had a chat with Tammy Abraham, he had a chat with, I say, oh my God. I say, I hope, because he's a fantastic footballer, he's still a good footballer, especially in Italy, which is a low-level league to compare with the English football, because he's 34, 35 now, with some injuries in the leg, but Italian league, low tempo. You have more time and space to think, you can hold the ball more quiet, and with his power, he can handle his energy. It's a good sign because AC Milan has done, a bad job until now. But I want to say something because I like to deliver some different message. I hope he doesn't want to leave England for some problem that he got there, and maybe in Milan he can find an environment that is not really good because the team now, the supporters are very angry, fed up with the players. But in this city, because we got studio in Milan, I stay in Milan at weekend. In this city, we have a good life. You have the life that you can have in New York, London, but in a small place. So you have clubs, fantastic restaurant, all television are in Milan. You have many opportunities, and you have every few months the how you say fashion week.
Yeah, Milan Fashion Week.
Models,
big time.
From everywhere around the world, you can see the world from style. You can see I go close shops in Milan. I say, Paolo, you start with some. No, I want to deliver this message just to say maybe he come and will doing a fantastic job because he's a good footballer, fantastic talent. A few weeks ago, he had an injury. He was out 2-3 weeks. He made an interview where he said, Okay, he's telling his story why he chose to come to AC Milan. He said, yeah, because in Milan the club is amazing, but also in Milan you can do many other things. There is an international, fashion week.
Social side, yeah.
I say, I'm not wrong because I studied the footballer. I read every interview, even if I'm not their manager. I can't know exactly, I can't talk deeply to them, but as a manager, I was 3 years in here. Exactly. I was even heavy sometimes because I read everything they're doing, their gesture, their movement, how they speak out, their word, their private life, because it's public in some way.
Yeah.
And it happened other things that 1 week ago came out that he spent one night in a club in Milan. He spent 1,000 pounds in alcohol.
We've all been there.
So already there. I say, listen, I hope that it couldn't happen, but I know the player. Probably he didn't do something really wrong. But for Italian style, you are 3 weeks out. You go out, have this night out before to come back and prove and show your quality, help the team to maybe push up, because it's far from to qualify for the next international cups, because they are 9th in table, 10th in table. So like Man United, very bad season.
You've got to focus
it's not
now.
It's not very good.
He needs to focus
attitude.
on his football, really, rather than
it's 9 games
out.
to go.
Yeah.
Only 9.
Time
No
to
other.
lock in.
And the 2 semi-final Italia Cup against Inter Milan, local derby. They have the chance to win Italia Cup.
Huge games.
So it's not the right time to do this.
Win
the cup,
wait till the summer.
And then I come with you in a club.
That's it.
Maybe
There you go. That's the invitation.
It's not. But I wasn't wrong because
you're right.
Usually to say in Italy, I know my chicken.
You know
what I mean? I know the people because I study the people.
That's right. Okay, one final question before we let you go. If you were a manager in the Premier League right now, who would be the player that you would most want to sign?
There are
a tough
few.
question. There's a few.
I
can have
can
3.
say we can have we can play the game in this way. Obviously, depends which kind of system you want to adapt. To your players. There are many. Someone for their intensity, someone for the passion, someone for the serious attitude, someone for the pure talent.
Yeah.
Would
you have Declan Rice in there?
Yeah, Declan Rice.
He's got to be up there, hasn't he?
Every time Declan Rice. Unfortunately, he left West Ham, but
at least he left for
ambition. But West Ham took 105 million. Okay. But Declan Rice for sure is a pure leader. Since 5 years ago, when he was 21 already at West Ham, is a way to act on the field. He is one of the best midfielder in the world because he's not elegant like many others.
Like an Odegaard.
The way you do things.
Are you surprised that Odegaard's the captain and not Declan Rice?
In some way, I can understand, but he was a captain at West Ham already.
He was,
In Arsenal, Odegaard arrived just a few years earlier, but if he's not Odegaard, it's Rice. Sometimes you don't need an armband to be a real leader. Usually to say, we have 11 leaders, is not true. But 1 or 2 or 3, yes, it's true in the way he behaves. He's a leader by example. In the training session, in the national team, in the way he behaves. No one bad story come out. Can happen that you go to a party one day, but it look different from others, maybe British footballer, because you can see it's clear he got ambition to become the best, like Lampard was for many years, Gerrard. Now Bellingham. Pure talent, obviously. We're talking about another Ballon D'Or, another one. But Rice in the middle there, in the way ringing the ball in front of the 2 center defender, the way make shielding inside, the way start again orchestrate in a simple way but clear pass, pure pass, short, medium, long delivery, and then when attack the box.
Yeah, and still scoring goals as well.
187, good physical, strong. So different to get injury because he got a pure energy in his body. The muscles are perfect, the elasticity, powerful. So he's a fantastic footballer. I would pick him for sure in the middle, and then round, I would be maybe my team. But now it's difficult. The way I need to mention De Bruyne, not De Bruyne the last 2 years, many injuries, but 3 years ago. If I can have De Bruyne 3 years ago, De Bruyne for sure.
Yeah.
Rodri, obviously. Salah, obviously, but after it's difficult to play all together. But there are many, obviously.
In terms of your career looking forward, have you had any offers to come back into the game, like from the Saudi Pro League or anywhere out there? Or would you be interested?
I still manager. I'm working already, since a few years ago.
Yeah. But in terms
for Italian Sky Italy, but inside I still next to the dugout. In the way I'm talking about football, you can see.
We see it. The passion is
for
very
me,
much.
I'm a manager. That was how you say loan to television in some way. But it's obvious it's difficult to come back in the dugout. I'm a realistic guy, nearly 60, even if I look like 45.
You do look very good.
You can see from my face. But because I'm a coach, not a manager, I like to coach on the field. The time is gone. I still maintain my good fitness in my body, but it's not easy. I'm a realistic guy. But I had a chance in the last few years, but different level. I didn't accept it because obviously once you play, you have been managing League 2 and you win straight away. In League 1, and then I decide to leave even if we get close to win 2 in a row. And then in Sunderland we saved the team from the relegation, and then I had only 5 games chance.
Yeah, amazing.
We had friction with the general director, not good results straight away, and they decide to push me out. Can happen in football. I had 6-7 chances, 5 in England, 2 in Italy, but in my opinion they weren't the right environment to accept, because I didn't want to go obviously only in Premier League, but in Championship for try to win the league, and not for try to let the young players to growing up and improve and then sell them and start again. No, I'm a winner in my brain. I want to try to compete for win. It didn't happen in those clubs, and then I decided to keep going with the television, because in some way it's a different satisfaction, obviously, because you are not real protagonist, but it's a way give you satisfaction when the people meet you and say, Paolo, when you talking about football, I understand. Sometimes the other I don't understand, and then you show me some details that I don't see in live, live, and that is important. So it means I deliver my knowledge anyway in some way. In a sport, so that is my life.
That's it. That's crucial. And hopefully we'll see you more on Premier League football in
never
the UK
say never,
as well.
because I still keep fit myself.
That's it, yeah.
Never say never. Maybe one day I'm ready.
You're ready
anytime.
Whenever the offer comes. Well, I've got loads more questions, but we'll save them for next time.
Okay.
But it's been a pleasure. Paolo Di Canio, thank you so much.
Thank you.